Well, hello, my YouTube friend. Well, I guess it's one of those times where I have to meet my word when I say that I like to make videos about production knives. I need to be consistent and make some once in a while. And of course, as always, I'm not compelled to do that or forced by anyone. I do that because it's my true pleasure. And today, it is my pleasure to present you the Boker Haddock and speak a little bit in general about Boker because it has been a while. So this is, I would say, the last of the, not the Mohicans, but last of the Boker for now. I sold all my Bokers because I like to renew the collection, but I figured that, it's, to me, as you know, I'm more into customs, but of course, if they do a new knife, I know that for sure that I'm going to buy it probably. So yeah, this one is the last one that I kept for the reason that I'm going to discuss with you. But before that, I wanted to discuss a little bit about Boker. This is a Boker manufacturer. As you know, there are three different finish and different qualities of Boker. You have, for once, I prepared a little bit this video, the Boker Magnum, and you have the Boker Plus. Yeah, prepared but not really organized. The Boker Plus. So the thing that I wanted to discuss, first of all, is the packaging. Look at that. Even the shitty Boker from China has his own metallic box like that. And inside, you have the cut for the knife. It's really, really well done. Of course, the knife, you can expect to have, I don't even know what material is that, but it's far from being wood, believe me. Those are users, they're like $10 knives, whatever, but for $10-20 you get a packaging like that. So if Boker can do it, I'm sure that a lot of manufacturers can do also. That's Boker from China. This is China also, but it can be also Taiwan. They come with this box that I really like. Those are Boker Plus, so that's the quality above the Boker Magnum that we just saw. Those boxes are magnetic, boom, like that, really like that. They have also the room for the knife here, and the quality is better. The steel is going to be a little bit better. Before that, they did, the 440C, for example, but the steel are even better now. I mean, they have some crucible steel, even on the Boker Plus. So quality is going to be better, and I'm telling you better and better, because when I look at this Nano now that I have in hand, it's far from the quality of the Boker Plus that you can expect to have today. Like, for example, the Quaken, which is a really, really, really nice quality. And I think that the Quaken has been made in their factory in Taiwan, where the quality control is way better than in China. So yet again, a really nice packaging. And then we have the Boker Solingen. Solingen is a city in Germany, so they do this one in Germany, and Solingen is a city that has an ancient tradition and history about making knives, like some city in the world do. You have in Japan, for example, Seki City. You have, I'm sorry, I'm trembling, I don't know why. Seki City in Japan. You have Maniago in Italy. Those cities, they are dedicated in the they have a lot of tradition in making knives. So yeah, they come with this really nice packaging. I absolutely love that. The finish, look at that. It's really, really well done. It's nothing, it's cardboard, but it's done in a way that it's really nice. So inside you even have a little pouch like that. You can put your glasses or whatever. Really nicely done. And then you have, of course, the knife. So let's move on this box and talk now a little bit about the knife. I'm going to try to take back my hand and start trembling like if I have a Parkinson's. So this is a Boker manufacturer collaboration with Gents Anso, and that knife is the Haddock. I again tried to sell this knife for a couple of times, but because it doesn't have the feature that I like. It doesn't have the thumb disc, doesn't have, I realize now that I say thumb disc as if it was natural for me to have thumb disc when I despised those. But I figured in time that if I did It was because of the Emersons with the wave, and the look of the thumb disk and the wave on the Emerson just didn't make it for me. And I hated the thumb disk for those reasons actually, but I realized in time it was because of the thumb disk itself. Enough said about that. So we have the Haddock. So as I said, the opening here, it was not an issue actually, but was a concern first. But then I realized, that you can open it like that. And I figured in time that it makes its uniqueness, because I don't have any other knife that I can operate like that. They're all usual regular one, as you can expect, thumb disc, thumb hole, flippers, whatever. This is the only one that I can operate like that. And that makes it for me. I love uniqueness in knives, so this one for me, for that reason, and that reason only, makes it unique. Then after that, you have the knife itself. Very, very nice knife. It's a very, a very nice knife for EDC. It's perfectly done. We're going to start talking about the handle first. The handle has the usual pattern that is, I would say, to give to the credit to Anso. We are nowadays, we are really used to those patterns on G10, titanium, whatever. I wouldn't say that Anso invented this pattern. Anso is a maker from Norway. He does customs, of course, and he does now also a lot of collaboration with makers, Spyderco, Boker, whatever. The thing that is more remarkable with him is probably the fact that in his lab he invented all those kind of pattern on handle. And again, this is really to give to his credit. So this is G10 with his nice here uneven. You have big big grooves here and smaller here, but I like it like that actually. And not only is it nice looking, but it gives you some extra grip, which is something that I absolutely like on a knife, of course. The more grip, the better, as long as it's not, aggressive in your hand. But this is not actually, not at all. So this is for the presentation side. The hardware is a regular one, but of course it's nice because you can disassemble and do the maintenance way easier. A hole, like I don't really like, as usual. But for those of you who like line and hole, this is nice because it's a big one and oval, and actually it doesn't. It's not that bad. Not that bad on this one. Then we have the lock side. So the lock side, I absolutely adore the finish of the lock side. It's really, really nice. Boker do a great job with their stonewash. Look at that. Oh yeah, I like that. This, for once, the video I think does the justice that knife deserves. And you can even see that it's almost even, the stonewash of the frame lock and the stonewash of the blade. Look at that. It's really nicely done. I absolutely adore that. Look at how neat it is now. I decided to put the clip in a thumb, tip down carry for this reason, because I wanted to give, to have this view here. Look at how neat it is to have this lock like that, just because the relief cut is done in the inside. And that is something that I don't understand. Why other makers don't do this neat finish here. I think it's, to me, in my opinion, it looks way better than to have a cut here on the lock. So, of course, you can have the tip-up carry for those of you who are, monothematic about that and really like only tip-up. To me, it serves no purpose on this knife, because the importance of having a tip-up or a tip-down has to be two things. First, the security. You don't want the blade to open it by accident. So for that, my friend, if you don't want the blade to open it by accident, the only position is tip down. Of course, because when you open the knife, when you take it out of the pocket, the blade will be down. If you do it tip up, of course, if the detent is not good, boom, the blade will open, and that will be dangerous, okay? So that's one of the reasons of tip up or tip down carry. Then the other one is the deployment, the speed of deployment. So, of course, when you have a flipper, you want to have it tip up. This way, boom, you can take it off and deploy it easily. But for thumb opening, I think it's better to have it tip down. Say what you want to say, my friend, but if you take it out of the pocket, the thumb is here, the thumb disc or thumb hole or whatever thumb opening system that you have. When you take it out of the pocket, it's here and you can deploy it easier. But for this one, it's meaningless, and the purposeless to talk about that, because as I said, the deployment is not going to be a flicking deployment. This is not a self-combat or a combat knife. This is the perfect EDC. And we're going to talk about that with the blade, but that's the perfect EDC. So yeah, I really like that, and I really like this clip in this position, even though it's a spring clip. Of course, it's not what I like these days with the 3D or whatever, but it serves perfectly its purpose. So I really like this clip, and in this position, because it leaves the lock alone, because if you put the clip here, you have to understand that it will go here. So it will hide one of the part of this lock, which is, again, to me, something that I really like. So now let's talk about the blade. And man, is that blade fantastic. I love this blade shape. It's all dedicated to the cutting side. Look at that. All the blade length is dedicated for slicing. There is a nice belly. Look at how thick the spine is, and yet you have a dramatic hollow grind that brings here to a very thin as a feather. You can almost feel your two fingers here. The video is never a good way to show hollow grinds, because of course it's in 2D, when your eyes is gonna see in 3D, of course. But believe me, my friend, when I tell you that the hollow grind is perfect. They did a great job in sharpening these knives. The blade steel is really nice. That's a Boker. And as you know, Boker is owned by Boker, but that's a Boker N690, which is the equivalent of the M690, of course. Really like the blade steel, very, very nice. And of course, this stonewash is absolutely splendid. So yeah, this knife, the tip is not that strong, so I wouldn't recommend to trust or even think about using it for self-defense, because the main reason is the deployment. This is gonna take you ages. You don't want to use that for that. Actually, you don't want to use knives per se in a combat situation, but if need be, it is also a tool for that. But this is a perfect EDC, and I just love it. Now let's talk about the mechanics a little bit. Look at that. It's, I would say, spot on. Oh, one word about the standoff. Even the standoffs are not the regular one. Look at that. Very nice. Very nicely done. So yeah, the action, as I said, with one finger, you have seen me opening it like 10 times during this video. As you can see, it's quite easy, and the detent is very, very, very strong. So, and yet, look at that, smooth action in the opening. The engagement, 30%, rock solid. Absolutely no blade play. You can have a lot of issues with Boker, but I'm not gonna discussed long about that. I've discussed that in a previous video. You have a problem, you send them back. Then after that, you will get a knife that is perfect. For sure, they can be not consistent. I know that for sure, but they have the best customer service in the world. Don't worry with that, my friend. Send them back your knives if you have an issue, and expect to have a great knife at the end. Look at that. Nice engagement, absolutely no stickness whatsoever. And I carried that knife 100 times. So, yeah, trust Boker, and especially Boker manufacturer, and especially their customer service. If you like the knife, you can expect to have a nice knife at the end of the day. I sent them back like 4 or 5 knives, and eventually every time I got back something that I really, really liked. So yeah, don't worry with that. Look at this huge top pin. Yeah, again, huge top pin, a really nice lockup here. That's a rock solid knife. And I like the fact that they did, you know, this cut here, so that leaves no sharp edge when you want to disengage. Very, very, very keen. What is to say again about this knife? I think I've said it. I wouldn't say all, but mostly what I wanted to say about it. I don't really like, as always, you know, the writings on the blade, but that is something that you can expect for a knife, especially when it's done by a production brand. So with that being said, it was my pleasure to do this video about a knife from the production, and hopefully I'll get some more. If they make new knives, I will buy them for sure, because it is how it is. I can't help myself to buy and try any kind of knives, but for now I'm more into custom, as you know, but I do really like those production knives. And with that, with those words, I will catch you very soon, my friends, for another video. Bye bye, it was a pleasure.